Hi everyone, Chris here with a quicker video, hopefully this time around. It's the same test that I did before. It's Genshin impact. I'm looking at the gaming performance, the impact it has on what I'm seeing, like micro stutters happening with the same graphics setting on the iPhone 12 Pro. But when I did that test, a lot of people cried foul, didn't they? They said, hey, you can't compare a foldable device, different form factor up against basically, the candy bar form factor here. So that's why this time around, I've got the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra right here, Snapdragon 865. It's got 8 gigabytes of RAM up against the 6 gigabytes of RAM Bionic A14 here. So I wanted to get a base score first, and that is to just run, of course, Antutu. But just to point out, we're on 100% battery here on the iPhone, and it was just seconds ago 100%. It's gone down to 99 on the Mi 10 Ultra. So what I'll do is now open up Antutu. So just launch them both at about the same time. They probably could actually already be in the background. No, loading up. And what I'm going to do is just run this to get a base score first. So ignore these scores because when I ran this on the iPhone 12 Pro, that was after gaming for 1 hour. So that's why I'm just going to tap right here to retest both of them. And I'll skip ahead. We'll show you the results. So this is just to get our base score first before I do that 1 hour of gaming and getting these really, really hot, both of these. To check on that GPU throttling, is it going to happen? Okay, so this is the scores we get between them. So we've got 670,000 points almost on the Mi 10 Ultra, and then 571,000 on the iPhone 12 Pro. You can see there's a big difference in the GPU scores there. Actually, when one of the benchmarks was running, I did see it looked like it was stuttering and lagging a little bit compared to the Mi 10 Ultra here. So with my thermal probe here, about 35 degrees already on the Mi 10 Ultra, just from this one single test here. And the iPhone 12 Pro is approximately almost 30 degrees. So this is Genshin Impact now, and what I'm going to do is jump into the game, but first let's check the loading performance. I've got a timer here. I want to do 1 hour of gameplay, so just start that now. And that is both at the same time. So which one is going to load into the game the quickest here, straight from basically the lobby? It looks like the iPhone 12 Pro speeding ahead. Wow, that's so quick to get into the game. That's excellent. That is very, very fast. I think that's even faster than loading it on my PC. And the Mi 10 Ultra clearly lagging behind there on our loading speed here for the game. So just while that one's loading in, I'm going to set the settings on both of them to be exactly the same, just like the other test that I did. So what I'll do is jump into our settings. Okay, we're finally in here as well with this one. So graphics, set both of them to be exactly the same. So graphics setting here, both of them is custom, it's saying, because I've set 60 frames per second. So if I put that onto 30, you'll see right here. Well, I'll set highest on the iPhone. We'll also do the same. So that's it on the Mi 10 Ultra. Highest possible setting, 60 frames per second. Super demanding. This is an absolute battery killer. So just to confirm, that's high, but I want a highest, sorry. Highest, and then our frame rate, 60. Okay, we are done. So I'm going to game on both of them now for another 58 minutes, and I'll take a look and report back on the performance. Is one of them going to be dropping frames and lagging, as I've seen already on the iPhone 12 Pro, and just how hot are they going to get, and how much battery are we going to lose as well. So straight away, I'm already seeing this noticeable. Look at this performance. Look, can you see how choppy and laggy this is on the iPhone 12 Pro? It feels to me like that GPU is throttling like crazy, and I'm already feeling quite a bit of heat. We're only like 3 minutes, not even that, yeah, 3 minutes into the game, almost 3 minutes. And look at the performance here on the Mi 10 Ultra. It doesn't feel as hot. Remember, the exact same settings, and look how smooth this is. Very, very smooth, and I'll look ahead in the distance, and I'm not seeing any drop frame rates. So we're 50 minutes into the test now, and clearly to me there is a little bit more stutter coming through on the iPhone 12 Pro, and it does feel a little bit hotter, but once I get to that 1 hour gameplay, I will then check on the thermals, keep the game running, exit out, and I will also run that Antutu test again. So here, if we have a look at the Mi 10 Ultra with the Snapdragon 865, that is definitely a lot smoother to me. It just feels like it's so much smoother. It doesn't seem to be dropping the odd frame that is clearly happening to me on the iPhone 12 Pro here. Okay, so we're about actually just over 55 minutes now of gameplay, and you can see it looks like when we look at the front of the devices here, definitely that the Mi 10 Ultra is up to 40 degrees. Let's move over to that real bright part there. So that's about 40, almost getting up there towards 41, and the iPhone 12 Pro, that is about 39. You can see it's just starting to hit. But let's have a look at the rear of them now. So clear hot patch there. You can see where the chipsets are located, more or less, from that hot patch. And on the back, a different story here. You can see that the iPhone clearly getting quite a bit hotter there, 44 degrees versus on the back of the Mi 10 Ultra, about 37.5, maybe almost 38. No, there we go, 40. Okay, but we're looking at about almost 5 degrees. Almost, we're getting up there. There we go. Almost about 5 degrees hotter on the back of the iPhone 12 Pro. So now I'm going to exit out of both of these here, the game, and we're going to run Antutu. So make sure this is all closed. We've got nothing running in the background. Same here with the Mi 10 Ultra. Okay, so just swipe that up, hold, and get that cleared out. Okay, so there we go. Both of them are now running nothing. And let's run that Antutu. So they're still very warm, as I showed you just before, those temperatures. So let's have a look at Antutu now. Run that. And it'll first originally show the result that I got when both of these phones were cool. So remember this figure here. So 670,000 on the Mi 10 Ultra versus 571,000, more or less. And let's just go and test this again. Now, it's quite interesting to note here, even though the iPhone, even though I launched it at the same time, is ahead in the test, you can see with this particular graphics test here, which is called Terracotta, it's noticeably more choppy on the iPhone 12 Pro here, and just seems a lot smoother on the Mi 10 Ultra's Snapdragon 865. So that's finished up now. The Antutu run I've done now after 1 hour of gaming, both of the devices were quite warm. You can see that clearly to me, the A14 Bionic A14 chip here in the iPhone 12 Pro does throttle down a lot more. We've lost quite a considerable amount of performance here with the original score, which I'm showing you now, compared to how much it's throttled. So don't worry too much about the scores between both of these devices. They're very different. It's more this particular video just to point out that we're getting so much more throttling on the iPhone 12 and its A14 versus the Snapdragon 865. Now, I could also do this test with my other devices out there, and of course I did in that other video use the Fold, but that wasn't fair because of the different form factor, larger device. And now I've done a more fair test here. You can see it's still the same result, more throttling. Now, what about battery? Both of them started out with a 100% battery. We're on 58% on the iPhone 12, and we're down to 65% here on the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra. So a little bit of a difference there. Of course, huge difference in the capacity of those batteries there. So I hope you did like this second run of this test. It's just to point out that there's something going on with throttling, with performance on the GPU, on the new iPhones. So people are aware of that, and just featuring, of course, that Genshin impact just to demonstrate that it's clearly dropping a lot of frames. And other games, I'm also seeing a difference in performance when you're looking at the same exact game. So I hope to see you back on the channel. If you did like this video, please give a thumbs up and do subscribe for more. Bye for now.